So a few weeks ago, we released at Live Action this comedy sketch called Dark Times. It has almost 10 million views. Thank you so much for watching it. But I wanted to talk about it and what inspired it, because we released Dark Times as a comedy video around the 1-year anniversary of Roe v. Wade's overruling. Dark Times is actually based on real responses from people who are pro-abortion, who felt deeply impacted, they said, by Roe v. Wade's overruling. They explain why the overturning of Roe v. Wade will change forever their relationships and the way that they date. So I'm going to show you our video and then the actual lines of what people said in real life.
It's been 1 whole year since Roe v. Wade was overturned.
Which means they've been making abortion illegal all over the place.
So these are dark times.
These are dark times.
Dark times.
Dark times.
Already, this is very much based on the Insider News piece. So I want to show you this graphic that they have put up here in all black. And it says all of these quotes from people like constant fear, I'm terrified, hella scary, the fear of getting pregnant is 1,000 times scarier. So already when we created this sketch, it's not like we're projecting something on the pro-abortion people. This is something that we're trying to actually capture what they were saying about how they felt when Roe v. Wade was overruled.
Because now that Roe v. Wade is overturned, a woman can get pregnant just from having sex.
I'm now seriously considering going down the dangerous path of abstinence until marriage.
One of the quotes on this graphic, as you guys can see, is, I think I'll just abstain. Oh, the horror. What will we ever do?
Before a girl will have sex with me now, she's asking me all these dumb questions like, do you love me? And what happens if I get pregnant? And do you have a job?
Okay. The NPR article says, as she sits on her couch, Annie remembers a talk she had last summer with a guy that she'd been dating for about a month. After he told her he only uses a condom if a woman asks, she questioned him about what he'd do if she got pregnant. Annie said, and I think that's like a conversation that I haven't necessarily thought to have because I have the power to do whatever I want with my body and it doesn't matter what he thinks. There you go. Inspired by true events.
I find myself in this really bizarre state where I'm asking guys about things like their values and trustworthiness before sleeping with them.
The NPR article also says, dating may look a lot different now in states where abortion is now effectively banned. Dating now tends to include conversations even before the first meetup about contraception and values. The first meetup, you mean when you're hooking up? What about romance? What about courtship? Getting to know each other before jumping into bed together? I mean, it's as if this is unheard of. It's maybe not as common as it should be, but I think this is what people deep down want. People are talking about values when they date. How crazy. And then it goes on. Amanda says living under an abortion ban makes dating even more exhausting than usual. She says she's having to scrutinize people more, weeding out those you're not sure you can trust. It wears you down. Oh, so exhausting to just only sleep with people that you would actually trust. Can I trust this person? Should I keep dating them? I wouldn't call that exhausting. I would call that normal and good behavior.
Abortion being illegal where I live has definitely raised the bar for which men I'll date and have sex with. And that's a terrible thing.
So then the NPR article says, Amanda is 28 years old. She dates both men and women. And she says living in a state where abortion is now effectively illegal has raised the bar for which men she'll date and sleep with. And that's a bad thing. And then it says, the girl in the NPR article says, when I'm dating a man, I have to ask myself, am I worth more than $10,000 to them? Because she says $10,000 is the penalty for aiding an abortion. The question when you're dating, am I worth more of a commitment to them than $10,000? You are worth way more than $10,000. Look at how cheap we see ourselves and how cheap that we see sex. I mean, this is really, really sad. Dating is not for hooking up. Dating is not for just passing time. Dating can be fun and everything, but dating is ultimately to discern, is this someone that I would marry? And it's actually really good to go into dating with values and standards. If saving lives by banning abortion is one more way that's going to help you have standards in dating, that's awesome.
I can't tell you how many first dates I've had in the last year where no sex happens. All we do is talk about who we are and get to know each other.
This is a therapist that's interviewed by NPR. It says Madison Wise. There might be a little bit of a higher turnover rate of first dates that just don't go anywhere else, which is not a terrible thing in the long run. But yeah, it does take some of that fun carelessness out of it. Guys, there's no such thing as casual sex. Sex is not casual. Sex is sacred. Sex is beautiful. Sex is serious. Sex is never casual. It is far too powerful for that. You want people to be careful with you. You don't want people to be careless with you. And you should be careful with other people because you guys are human beings that have value and worth.
It used to be that if I got a girl pregnant, I would just force her to get an abortion. And I can't do that anymore. And that's awful.
So Carson M., a student and Lyft operator who responded to an insider call out, said he's afraid of impregnating a partner and being left with no options. What could that option be that he's referring to, especially amid such compounding crises as the current economic downturn and baby formula shortage? So another NPR article on the impact of abortion on men. Okay, so you have all of this stuff about how poor men, when they have sex, using this woman just as a sex object, there might be a baby, and that poor man, he's going to have to deal with having to find formula for his baby instead of killing his baby. What? It's just mind-numbing. It's really mind-numbing.
Why would I ever want to bring a child into a world like this? A world in which it's illegal to kill children.
Okay, so this line sounds like it's over the top, but this is from the Insider News report, and it says, I don't want to birth a child into a world like this. We're not making this stuff up, guys. This is real life.
I live in constant fear of a baby somehow finding its way into my uterus.
The Supreme Court of the United States put this inside of my body.
The Washington Post had this headline. This was a big story that they ran called "An Abortion Ban Made Them Teen Parents." There was an abortion ban that forced them to have sex. And then in the process of sex, the abortion ban is what brought that new life into the world. That is what made her have the baby. That's crazy. I've never heard of a law that can make you get pregnant. Here's another thing on the language. When a woman is pregnant, she's already a mother. When a couple have sex and they conceive a child, they're already parents. This idea that, oh, not having an abortion is what makes you a parent is completely illogical and untrue. If you consider abortion because you're pregnant, you are already a parent. If you don't consider abortion and you're pregnant, you're already a parent. If you are pregnant, you are already a parent because reproduction has already happened and there's already a new human life inside you. We need to stop with this nonsensical language that is so deceptive and that's so self-victimizing, as if we don't have control, as if we don't have the power to choose when and with whom to have sex, and instead recognize that there are sexual ethics and that there are responsibilities that come with sex, and that can include a responsibility to a new human life that we may create.
New idea here. I think that a man and a woman, before they have sex, need to draw up some sort of contract that says, I promise to take care of you and you promise to take care of me, and we both promise to take care of any kids that we produce together. I mean, like, I know it's new, I know it's shocking, I know it's out there, but that kind of contract is the only way that I see us moving forward.
This is a different NPR article that I want to show you guys. NPR is a gold mine for comedy, by the way. This article is called From Housework to Sex, Here's How Relationship Contracts Can Help Couples. What a novel idea. I've never heard of the idea of a relationship contract, which involves commitments and responsibilities that you have to another person. It says, quote, so often our language around romantic love makes it feel like it's out to get us. We're captive passengers on a high-speed train to an unknown destination, jolly patients of the same contagious, all-consuming malady, victims of some inescapable, omnipotent force. But love today should be an active choice, something you grow and build together with a partner instead of something that just happens to you. Wow, NPR, you guys are so original. What a new idea. Love is a choice? I would have never guessed that without having read this great piece of journalism from NPR. Thank you, NPR. The article goes on to describe a new book called To Fall in Love, Sign on the Dotted Line. Well, actually, the way it works is you fall in love. You discern, is this someone I want to continue to choose to love? And then you choose with that person to, so to speak, sign on the dotted line. And that's called publicly, you pronounce your love to the world, commit to each other for life. It's called marriage. It says the book offers an ultra practical, albeit seemingly unromantic, solution for love maintenance, relationship contracts. What a new and creative idea. The reality is marriage is actually much more than a contract. Marriage is a sacred covenant. It's a promise that's made to the other person before God and before others, to have and to hold, for richer or for poorer, until death do us part. And I highly recommend the beautiful gift of marriage and putting sex back where it belongs in marriage. The research shows the highest degree of sexual satisfaction is found in people who are married and committed to each other for life, love each other in their marriage. If we put sex back in marriage, we would eradicate abortion almost overnight.